Pro Wrestling Rants, baby! And it's time for Laying the Rat Down, where we're going to be looking at New Japan's G-1 CLIMAX 33, the first 4 nights of one hell of a month's worth of round-robin tournament action. Wow, this is going to be some kind of tournament. If the first 4 nights are any indication, 32 wrestlers, multi-match format, A, B blocks, one night. The next night, typically, we move into the C and D blocks. 8 competitors per each block. A few things before we get into the top 10 takes of the best matches so far in G1 CLIMAX 33. One note for sure is that every match in the G1 this year, normally they would be 30-minute time limit. Now we are moving at a little faster pace as we have 20-minute time limits for each and every match as part of the G1 CLIMAX. So that's a big change, as well as another big change with 4 blocks of action. 2 of the 8 wrestlers from each block will end up advancing down the road in mid-August to essentially what it'll end up being, I think, is like an 8-man tournament from there with 2 competitors from each block, and then we just go in kind of elimination style from there. So some exciting changes ahead in the G1 CLIMAX. I think it should make for some, especially that last week, a really fun last week for sure. One of the big takes from this G1 is Kazuchika Okada is looking to three-peat in this tournament. Will he do it? Is anybody's guess. It's a very competitive line of workers in this one, particularly in the A block. I think all of the young and upcoming talent, including the new 3 Musketeers, Shota Umino, Yota Tsuji, and Ren Rita, are really being showcased and really standing out so far in this tournament. And so far the physicality has been really high, and particularly, let's just get into it, let's not waste any time. Number 10 of the top 10 matches to check out at G1 CLIMAX 33 so far. And number 10, I got one from, looking back here on my list, this would have been on night 3. Gabriel Kidd against Hikuleo. Speaking of physical, these guys were brawling all over the place to start the match. But then, speaking of physicality, there was a spot in this match where Hikuleo tried basically a running kind of quick slam, where essentially Gabriel Kidd was going against the ropes, and Hikuleo quick snatch, quick power slam type of maneuver. Ultimately, it was all for naught in this spot. Gabriel Kidd took the spot, and something happened in transition, and Gabriel Kidd didn't get a full rotation on the slam, and he landed hard on his neck. I guess we'll see what happens on night 5. He's all right, but it looked really bad in a really physical spot, but a really wild match that I did not expect in this one with Gabe Kidd and Hikuleo. And number 10, another really physical match, which was a shock. No, I don't think anybody saw this coming out the gates, was Aaron Hanari and Mikey Nichols at number 9. And this was from, I believe, the second night, if I recall, of the G1. And again, there was a spot in particular where Mikey Nichols was trying to get Aaron Hanari up in a, I guess you would call it a fireman, or not a fireman's carry, but a pump handle slam type of maneuver. And Aaron Hanari got dropped right on his head. This match, besides that, was incredibly physical. There was some headbutt spots that were looking really stiff. In fact, Mikey Nichols was busted open hardly from a really, really stiff headbutt on his own volition that he did to Hanari. Another thing to know, Aaron Hanari now has a face tattoo, which you got to see to be believed. And his gimmick has, from the look of it, from the way his mannerisms, he's becoming more of I call it a brawler type wrestler. And he has really shown his way in this tournament so far with these 2 matches. Number 9, Hanari, Mikey Nichols. Check it out. If you want to see one sick botch spot, that is for sure in that match, no doubt. Number 9, Will Ospreay and Yoshihashi. Another match that overachieved. I thought this had a potential to be pretty good, but it was much better than it ended up even being expected. Night 3 action on this one. Ospreay did finally go over, but there was a lot of good near falls near the end, and I kind of thought maybe we were going to see an upset in this match. Number 7, this I believe was from the first night of the G1 Climax. From Noah, Kaito Kiyomiya in there against Yoda Tsuji, and basically, battle of future is the way I looked at it in a way with this one. This was a nice, really tight, flowed match. Kiyomiya ended up winning, but this was good. This was really solid action at number 7. How about number 6, Jeff Cobb against Tetsuya Naito. This was the main event of night 2. I feel like Naito is a little injured. He's moving a little slow. He's just a few steps behind in his speed, you'd call it, in the match. He's just having a little hard time at it for one reason or another. Time may be up for Tetsuya Naito. I'm not sure, but whatever the case, he put over Jeff Cobb in night 2's main event in a pretty impressive match. Cobb won clean with the Tour of the Islands in that one. Number 5, a match that every time hits. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr. Again, I believe this was night 2 of the G1 Climax, and just a technically sound match. It was more ground-based, and they were trying to tell a story here that Tanahashi is trying to pivot from his normal ring style into more of a ground-based style, and this was showcased here in this match with ZSJ. Once again, these guys always deliver, and number 5, no exception here in the G1 Climax tournament. Number 4, Eddie Kingston coming in from AEW. This was his first match. This was night 2 as well. I think ultimately, I'm looking back, by the way, I think night 2 is probably the best night so far in the G1, just as a heads up. But night 2, Kingston, Shingo Takagi, just a fantastic physical match. And rumors are, there seems to be indications that this match is going to get rematched at either All In or All Out this year. So I'm all for it. Hopefully All Out, because I'll be there live. Got my tickets this past week for that event in Chicago. So we're down to number 3. And number 3 is actually a tie with 2 matches, because I could not decide which one I liked better of these 2. Both of these matches ended up being 20-minute time limits, and both matches were showcases of the new 3 Musketeers in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The first one was Yoda Tsuji and Ren Narita. This was from, I believe, looking back, night 3. And night 3 was very solid too, by the way. Night 2 and night 3, just strong shows. Tsuji and Narita had a hell of a match here that went to a 20-minute time limit. And then after the bell, Yoda Tsuji, clothesline over the top rope to Ren Narita. They both fall to the floor. This is a feud to look out for in the future, no question about it. And then the other match of note, Shota Umino against Ren Narita. Also a very, very strong 20-minute, no contest, time limit draw. Each competitor just gets a point in the G1 Climax. If you lose, you get the 0. If you win, you get 2. So even in a no contest or a time limit draw, whatever you want to call it, you still get a point. So that can add up when push comes to shove in this tournament. But both of these time limit draw matches were just phenomenal and really worth seeing. Number 2, this was from night 4. one of the lone matches from night 4. Night 4 was not a good show, I didn't feel, overall. But this one stood out. Shingo Takagi and Aaron Hanari. Now, if you recall, Shingo and Aaron Hanari, I can't remember when this was, a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago or something, had a match at Korakuen Hall that was a 3 out of 5 fall match, which ended up going like an hour and 15 minutes. Really, really good match. This will probably be on the best top 10 list of the year 2023 in some circles. I didn't see the entire match, so I can't comment on it. I saw part of it, the highlight package of it. I didn't see the entire match in its entirety. So, whatever the case, this one in the G1 between Shingo and Hanari brought out probably the best spots from that longer match, compressed into a more high-impact, faster-paced match here. And Hanari actually went over, which was a bit of a surprise as well. He may be like a real dark horse in this tournament, Aaron Hanari. Then number one was, I believe, let me take a look back, from night 1. Indeed it was. It was the semi-main event. The main event ultimately kind of didn't deliver. That was Sonata and Hikuleo. But I'll tell you what, this match certainly did. At number 1, I got Will Ospreay and Taichi. Oh my God, this match was super physical. Great near falls. Taichi held his own there with Ospreay. And there was one spot in this match where Taichi inadvertently hit Ospreay in the ear, a little too stiff, and Ospreay, as far as it looked, legitimately was not silly, and his equilibrium was all fucked up. It really played into the match a bit. It was a fantastic match. The number 1 match I think you need to check out G1 so far is that match, Will Ospreay and Taichi. So this was just kind of an extension of the midweek must-see matches from the outset of midweek must-see matches. If you check that out, that was the rant before this one. We didn't mention that no G1 Climax matches would be on that list because we were going to work and do this list instead. And going into night 5, which is just coming up tomorrow, or tonight into tomorrow, some good looking matches there. We'll probably do another one of these lists. Maybe not next week, but maybe the week after, where we do kind of a part 2 on the must-see matches in G1 Climax 33 over in Japan. All right, everybody, come on back tomorrow. We got versus Ring of Honor versus Impact leading into a pay-per-view tomorrow night on Friday night. Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. So be looking for a mega rant on that later in the weekend. And of course, every single weekend, you know what it is, laying the rant down. We will be dropping that sometime this weekend as well. So that's what to look forward to this weekend at Part of Wrestling Rants. And then, of course, next weekend, I am in Chicago for a double shot of Impact Wrestling TV tapings for Access TV. And I am front row center ringside for these shows. So be looking for that next week as well. See you all right back here tomorrow for some more Wrestling Rants, baby!